Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi folks, I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
I'm a little bit of a nerd when it comes to landscaping. I've studied soil down to the microbes. It's that level of detail I bring to my work and to my business. Straight lines and a healthy ecosystem is what I'm all about.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home, for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Hello, folks. Good morning, and welcome back to Curling.com's continuing coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard live from the Oakville Curling Club in Oakville, Ontario. We've got a ladies' C semifinal today between two Mackenzies, Mackenzie Kiemele versus Mackenzie Zacharias. Should be a great game. John Cullen once again alongside Mary Chilvers. And Mary, you were saying just before the broadcast got underway that Sunday's always your favorite day at a curling tournament, or I guess the third day. It's not always on Sunday. Sometimes it's on Saturday. But this day is your favorite day.
Well, I think so, especially in a triple knockout format. All the A and B championships have all been declared, and they're just waiting for the C side here now to duke it out. And so it's like a sudden death sort of thing, which I always find just a little more exciting.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When teams are fighting for their lives, it definitely makes for some great games. So we have, of course, Mackenzie Zacharias, world junior champion a few years ago in 2019 out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, playing off against Mackenzie Kiemele from Niagara Falls, Ontario. And as you say, Mary, both teams playing for their lives here. This is a loser goes home situation. The winner will move on to play Yunjung Kim tonight for a spot in the playoffs. We've got two other C semifinals out on the ice with us here. As you can see in that wide shot, we've got Shannon J facing off against Calissa Daly, and Kathy Ald facing off against Justin Murphy. And the two winners of those games will play each other. So it'll be a good day here at the
Yeah, and if you haven't been following us here on curling.com, so we already have 5 women's teams that have qualified. Team Galusha and Team Inglis came through the A side, and then we had Team Mann, Harrison, and Duncan that have all come through the B side. And what I noticed here, John, is that 4 of the 5 of those teams that have qualified are on their way to the pre-trials in a couple of weeks. So I think this is going to give them quite a boost.
Yeah, no question about it. And of course, Mackenzie Zacharias will be heading to the pre-trials as well.
Mm-hmm.
They had a bit of a truncated season last year, but their first year in ladies, they were able to accrue enough points to actually play in the Scotties. They were the 3rd wild card team going into that event. And I know I was talking to their coach, Sheldon Zacharias, before this event started, and he was saying obviously that getting to play in a Scotties was an unexpected treat for the girls because, of course, they didn't have to play in Manitoba Provincials to get there. They just got invited to go, and their very first game of the tournament was a nationally televised game against the defending champion, Carrie Anerson. So he said it was very much into the fire situation right away for the girls, and said it was obviously very cool and they loved the experience, but they hadn't had a chance to practice, obviously, with COVID creating a bunch of those interesting scenarios where teams couldn't get on the ice. And so they essentially hadn't practiced and then had their first game in front of the nation. So
yeah, that's tough. You know, your first Scotties, and then your first game is up against the reigning champion. But you know what? You just gotta go out there and think this is a really good experience for us, and just go out and have some fun.
Yeah, certainly a no-pressure situation,
yes,
as it were, which is sometimes those are the fun places to be. So we'll introduce the teams to you. Of course, we're talking about Mackenzie Zacharias. She is the skip of the team. Carly Burgess throwing 3rd. Mackenzie's sister Emily Zacharias throwing 2nd, and lead is Lauren Lenentine. And over for Mackenzie Kiemele. She has a 5-person lineup, but today they're going with, obviously, Mackenzie Kiemele skipping, Katie Ford at 3rd, Megan Smith at 2nd, and Jessica Filipchich at lead.
So a little mistake there right away from the Kiemele team. I like the call. She was going to put up the corner guard, but their lead did slip it into the rings, and Zacharias was able to hit it. And she will try to put another one up here.
All right, good to know. It might straighten up a bit, though.
I think these young female teams are learning that to play a little more aggressive might be the way to go. I think back when they were younger, it was very, very defensive play. This one she is bringing into the rings, but it's nice to see because that's the way the game is going. You're going to have to learn to play with lots of rocks in play.
Yeah, no question about it. And these are two teams that are obviously very fresh out of juniors. Mackenzie Kiemele is the same age as Mackenzie Zacharias. They're both 22 years old. So both of these teams qualifying for the new under 25, the U25 championships here in Canada. And I don't know how much of a focus that is for the Zacharias team, but I know for talking with Mackenzie Kiemele before the game, that is something that their team is really focused on. And she said given that this is their first full year as a team, they're trying to balance the practice and play schedules to try and figure out, what's the best way to build their team. And obviously that's something for any new team to figure out. But so far this year, they've played in a few events. They played here in Oakville back in the fall, and they also played in the Kitchener-Waterloo Fall Classic. They have yet to qualify in an event, but we'll be looking to change that here today. And then over for the Zacharias rink, this is their 4th event of the season as they gear up for the pre-trials. They won the Mother Club Fall Curling Classic in their hometown of Winnipeg. And then they lost a tiebreaker in the Saville shootout to Laura Walker after they posted a 3-1 record in the round robin. So they unfortunately didn't make the playoffs there, but got very close. And then in the Atkins Curling Supplies Classic, they went 2-2 in the round robin and failed to qualify for the playoffs. So both teams looking to, maybe get a more positive result in their locker here. So Emily Zacharias will be trying to come around this center guard here and maybe put some pressure on Kiemele without the hammer.
Really going. Yep. Line's really nice. Hard back. Switch over, Car. Yep. Go. Right to the finish. Nice shot, Em.
So, of course, this is the Seaside semifinal, John, I believe. You still have to win one more after this to get into the top 8.
Absolutely.
Do you want to try this?
So yeah, all three of the games that are on the ice right now are hoping to get a spot in the C final. There are 3 teams waiting for them there. Isabel Ladisseur, Irene Shorey, and Yunjung Kim are all awaiting the winners of these games. Those teams will have the day off. The C finals go tonight at 7:30, so that's at least the one benefit of making it to the B final. You drop right to the C final, and you get to have a day of rest while these teams duke it out here in the morning.
Yeah, quite often, though, you will see teams that drop to the Seaside early. They get on a roll, and they go through and win the whole thing.
Yeah, I've definitely been down a few C roads myself.
Yeah.
And it does sometimes lend itself to some good play, especially if you're a C team and you're in an event where there's only 6 qualifiers. Sometimes you can end up against an A qualifier that hasn't played in 2 days in the semifinal, and it can be a big advantage, even though it didn't feel like it as you were playing 6 draws in a row. But
yes.
An unfortunate mistake from Megan Smith sort of opens the door here for Mackenzie Zacharias to really put some pressure on without hammer. Carly Burgess looking to guard here. Of course, this is a sort of interestingly formed team, this Mackenzie Zacharias squad, as both Lauren Lenentine and Carly Burgess are from the Maritimes. Lauren Lenentine from PEI and Carly Burgess from Nova Scotia. Carly moved to Winnipeg to be with her boyfriend Jacques Gauthier and found her way onto the Zacharias team because she was moving to Winnipeg, and they knew Lauren Lenentine from playing against her at the juniors. She skipped a PEI rink and had a lot of success doing that, and so they asked her if she would also like to make the move to Winnipeg, and she did. So I don't know if this is still the case, but they were at one time the 3 of them living together, the 2 Zacharias sisters and Lauren Lenentine. So it was a real team affair all the time. Not sure if they still are, but I know that was the case when Lauren first moved to Winnipeg. So,
well, if you can live together and still curl together and be successful, then that's definitely a plus.
Nice shot there from Megan Smith. So it is Megan Smith playing third. My apologies. Katie Ford playing second. So nice little run back double, but this will still leave Carly Burgess an opportunity to get buried here. Of course, Carly, one of the most successful Canadian junior players of all time. Could maybe argue the most successful. She has 3 World Junior gold medals and 5 Canadian championships. And she also won the Youth Olympics with Mary Fay, Tyler Tardy, and Sterling Middleton. So a very impressive record for her.
Whatever you know. This? Whatever you know the ice for. I like control. Okay, control. Okay, you like this? I'm not hanging around with control though.
So just, I think she can see about half of this at the most. Yeah, they're discussing either the run, which I kind of like better. It's a very short run.
Yeah, you'd think that's probably an easier shot. You can't see a ton of that red there.
Yep.
And Megan Smith had just made this run back, so we'll see if she can do it again here.
Close. Yep. Yep. Hard, Katie. Hard.
Katie Ford on it, right from release. And it just kisses the red one, but does not do enough to get it out. And I think Mary might be a little bit unfortunate that the guard, or the one they threw, is guarding that red rock right now.
Yeah, and they did actually tick the red rock just a little bit closer to the button as well. So this is a great opportunity now for the Zacharias team to get a call to just come around that yellow guard, but halfway, so they can't play any kind of a run back and get the one off the forefoot.
Just trying to choke. I think this will be okay.
So they're in a really nice position right now, Team Zacharias,
It might, yeah, yours
in
is a
position to steal.
kind of the same. 'Cause this is a little bit. Okay, yeah, short taller. Okay, 14-8.
So Zacharias just looking to come around here. Lie 2 without hammer.
Line's okay. Really curling, curling a lot. M's in. Line's okay. Line's good. No, top ball. Just top ball. Okay, M. Yeah.
So a little deeper than they wanted. They were hoping to put that in the top 12, but it's still 2 rocks buried, and it's going to be pretty difficult for Mackenzie Kiemele to get both of these out with a run back, I would imagine. You can see here for the Zacharias team as well, Lauren Lenentine throws lead rocks, but she is the vice. So she's in the house when Mackenzie Zacharias is throwing. Of course, that's, as we said, a position she's familiar with, skipped in PEI for a number of years and then played third for Caitlin Jones as well. So she's pretty much always been in the house, and the team leans on her for that expertise.
So this is going to be pretty difficult to get rid of both of these reds with this run back, but at least if she can get rid of the back red, sit her yellow one right there, it'll make at least a little more room for her in her next one. Certainly needs to get rid of one of these, or she's in a bit of trouble.
Yep, absolutely. So first stone for Mackenzie Kiemele here in the first end. Trying a run back. Nothing from the sweepers. And it will float just wide, so it's going to be difficult for Mackenzie Kiemele to score here. She's going to have to start thinking about drawing the pin here.
Sorry. You give me, where did I slide? Like there?
I'd say like edge. I think that'll be close.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
Okay. And if I think we can guard this side of it, because this isn't going to go if she hits it this way.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
What do you think, John? Would you bring this one really tight to the rings and even sort of cover the intern draw side?
Even on this
Yeah, I
side,
think that's
okay,
what they're planning. I think that's what Lauren sort of said to Mackenzie when she was going down the ice, that if you guard the intern or the the clockwise side of the rocks, even if she were to throw her counterclockwise or out turn, she wouldn't be able to get both of them out. So I think this is a case where, yeah, if you could just put this sort of on the eye in the top 12, it's going to be very difficult for Mackenzie Kiemele to score. So final stone here for Mackenzie Zacharias. Lying 2, looking to put a third in the house.
Line's good. Pass the set. Starting to curl. Line's okay. Close. Close. Easy. And a little.
So that's just over curling a little bit. That really didn't accomplish a whole lot. It does give the Kiemele team a decent chance here to score.
Yeah, exactly. Their plan was definitely to bring that into the top 12. Even just biting the house or half in the 12 would have been the ideal spot for that. But because it was over curling, the sweepers laid off of it. So it does block them from making the double Mary, of course, but it, as you say, doesn't really affect Kiemele's draw.
She says that she thinks it'll be a little bit faster than practice.
But all the same, still a bit of a pressure shot here. Mackenzie Kiemele's going to have to hit a bit of the button.
You think like 4:15 then? Yeah. Okay.
So final stone, Mackenzie Kiemele here in the first, facing two. Needs a piece of the button.
All you. Yeah, then.
Philip Chichin-Ford on it right away.
Line's holding.
Line looks really nice. Just a matter of weight here.
Yeah, can they get it there?
Hard.
Can they get it there?
Go.
I don't think they will. A great sweep from Philip Chichin-Ford, but it's not enough. Mackenzie Zacharias with a big steal of two here in the first end. You're watching the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard live on curling.com.
Asham Curling Supply.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi, folks. I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home, for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the continuing coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard, live from Oakville, Ontario. This is the 11th draw, the C semifinals for the ladies. You're watching all Mackenzie battle. Team Kiemele from Niagara Falls against Team Zacharias from Winnipeg, Manitoba. John Cullen alongside Mary Chilvers. And Mary, that first end was just a case of Kiemele really not able to get anything going, and Zacharias with a big steal of two.
Yeah, Mackenzie Kiemele had a run back on her first one she really needed to make, but Mackenzie Zacharias did kind of let her off the hook with her guard curling too much. She did have a shot, and she threw that quite nicely. The line was great on it, just a matter of a couple of feet short, so unfortunate for her to give up 2 points there. A steal of two in the first.
Yeah, it's never ideal when you're giving up a steal, but sometimes in the first end you can talk yourself into the fact that it wasn't a steal. That would always be the first thing I would say. Oh, they just had hammer and they got two. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get the train back on the tracks here. So
Yeah.
it's we saw yesterday Holly Duncan scored 4 on Yunjin Kim in the first end. And Kim was able to get back to a place where they had a shot to end up tying the game at one point. So, you know, you're certainly never out of it just because you have maybe a bad first end or one that you weren't hoping for. And of course, we have some other C semifinals out here on the ice. We'll keep you updated on those. Since there's only 2 other games, it's a little bit easier for your beloved commentator here to keep you updated. So there was a blank in the first end between Calissa Daly and Shannon Jay. And the other game right in front of us, Kathy Auld jumping out to an early 2-0 lead over Justin Murphy in an all-Ontario battle there. So we'll be keeping an eye on all the C semis for you. And, of course, we'll be keeping a very close eye on this one here between Mackenzie Zacharias and Mackenzie Kiemele. So a nice shot there from Jessica Filipchich. And a nice shot back from Emily Zacharias, although it does push Mackenzie Kiemele-Stone in to be shot.
Who shot? I think we are. Okay. Don't mind the freeze on the outturn then. I don't hate this.
I agree. I don't hate it either.
So just playing the freeze here. Would like to just cross that red one slightly.
Yeah. Close. Yeah.
So first stone for Katie Ford here in the second, and the sweepers seem to think it's quite heavy, and it certainly looks that way. This looks like almost hack weight. So that'll just hit the corner guard and hit it through the house. And Mary, this might be another opportunity for Mackenzie Zacharias to get set up without the hammer.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate miss. Even if you're just a little bit light, at least you got to get a rock in there somewhere when you're down 2 points.
I was commentating the 2020 Canadian Juniors that the Zacharias rink won, and of course they would later go on to win the Worlds, and they were just the clear class of the field there. It was really fun to watch them play and work their way through that event. It's hard, especially when you're a junior. I think it's hard to go into an event where you're the favorite and people are expecting you to win every game, because usually in the juniors, you know, you might have a couple favorites. There's not usually one clear favorite because the teams don't play each other that often, and it's hard to know who's good and who's maybe not as good. And Zacharias came into that event as the clear favorite on the women's side, and then just ran roughshod through the field, went undefeated on the way to the championship and then on to the World Junior gold medal. And I was just so impressed with their poise and the way that they approached each game. It was extremely fun to watch, and it's been fun to see them move up into the ladies ranks too. I think they're going to be a force in the ladies ranks for years to come, that's for sure.
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure on being the favorite. Sometimes being the underdog is an advantage. You know, you're kind of under the radar, and no one's really watching or expecting.
Yeah, certainly. And especially at the junior level, you know, you're still trying to figure the game out a little bit. It's not too bad from Katie Ford. Again, gets Kiemele back to being shot stone. She would have liked for that not to curl as much as it did, but being shot is good.
You know, play it through the hole. You might take this on the way by, but sure.
Like high side, yeah.
Top four.
That I said M head should be good for this. 14-7.
So Carly Burgess throwing third for the Zacharias rink and looking for a freeze. And the sweepers maybe overcooked that one a little bit. Even past the hog line, they were saying they needed to go, and I don't think they did. That bump is could really hurt them here. This is a chance for Kiemele to put some pressure on. So Megan Smith looking to get inside of this one. And this looks like it is well outside. And that will miss everything. And that's a key miss from Megan Smith. That was an opportunity there for the Kiemele rink to really put some pressure on.
I mean, you can play this now.
And again, it's going back to a shot earlier in this end, Mary, it's sort of a case of getting what we call the pro side miss, where, you know, even if you're going to miss, there's ways you can miss that are still helpful for your team. And that's 2 shots this end where Kiemele missed in a way that just did nothing for them. And that's, you can't be missing shots like that at this level, otherwise you're going to get punished.
And, you know, I always like when the skip will sort of mention the you know, the way to miss this shot. So just kind of put it in the thrower's mind that, you know, it's okay to be light here, not okay to be heavy, something like that. You need a lot of communication on shots like that.
Absolutely. And that's something that I think Kiemele, you know, talking to them before the game, they said they were looking to balance practicing and playing this year, their first year together as a full team, and I think that's probably something that they'll get more used to doing as the year goes on. And that's a really nice shot from Carly Burgess. Mackenzie Zacharias now sitting 3 without hammer.
Well, lucky for the Kiemele team, all of these rocks are behind the tee line, so this does give her a chance. She's not in a whole bunch of trouble, but this one has to be made.
Sweepers indicating that it's heavy once again from Megan Smith. And they just rack that guard, and 2 unfortunate misses from Megan Smith, and this is going to be a real opportunity for Max Zach to get on the attack here.
Yeah, I think Megan Smith she's just struggling with the weight more than anything.
I think with the right weight, it's going to curl.
Pretty quick out there this morning, I think.
Okay, then that's probably really close, hey? Yeah. Because even if we do that, that's not bad. Yep, okay. I like it. You got it, Max.
Yeah, this is something that we've seen, Mary, throughout this event, that the weight matters a great deal. And if you're a little bit heavy, it's just not going to curl. And we saw that on both of Megan Smith's rocks. She was just that little bit heavy, and it just never gets to a place where you're helping yourself out.
If we do rub the top yellow, it's not the end of the world either. We're still doing the same thing.
Well, this is a golden opportunity for the Zacharias team here. To sink one here, you could even go top 8, top 4, sort of half around even that yellow one, and ooh, Kiemele will be in a lot of trouble.
So Mackenzie Zacharias with her first, looking to be the troublemaker. If she can just bite the 4-foot here, this is going to be a lot of pain for Mackenzie Kiemele. This looks like it might be a little heavy. It's starting to come down now. And that is a fantastic shot from Mackenzie Zacharias, and they lay 4 without hammer.
Yeah.
I think this is probably.
That one's more challenging, I think.
The
Just
5
'cause
is
you have
always,
to-
you're going to be like this unless you're really thin.
Yeah. That's not bad though.
9 times out of 10, you just stay here.
I wouldn't mind it because I feel like she'd have to guard and it would be a usable stone.
Yeah, then she's going to guard, and then you got to play this on your last.
Yeah.
Or just straight draw. It's probably there. But I feel like this one first.
Yeah, unless like you feel that this is going to be, like, how much room did I have, do you think?
An inch or 2.
An inch or 2?
Yeah.
I don't mind trying this. I know that we'll probably do this.
Yeah, you got a couple more options
but
probably.
Then I'll have something, I think, to work with.
Okay.
There,
so-
that rock's always there too.
Yeah, what are you trying to hit?
You
have to play it this way.
Do you think a half will be good?
Yep, it's close. A little thinner will get you probably.
Yep. I'm not sure how much it's going to curl here because we haven't thrown one yet.
I would say it would curl.
Yeah, I would have.
I don't know if it'll be quite as dramatic as the other side, but
are we throwing norm?
Whatever you like.
I think
norm or control.
Probably. There's so many rocks in here.
Yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
norm is probably okay.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to throw norm. If we hit half a rock, the 7 should be a catcher and we should maybe move back onto the 1 in the 4-foot. But regardless, it will give us another way in. No, we're inside out to the red on the side. Yeah.
So I'm trying to make sense of this call, but I think Mackenzie Kiemele is trying a double and roll in, or a hit and roll in, Mary?
Yeah, based on the ice she's got, she's just throwing a nice, I don't know, board type of weight. Well, she said normal weight. That seems like a lot of ice for normal weight.
Well, I know. I almost feel like she's trying to skinny by the guard with this in-turn and make a double.
I think she wants to make a double and thinks she might be able to scooch into the 4-foot area.
Okay, well, we'll see what happens here.
Yeah.
She moves it, but not enough, so still Mackenzie Zacharias sitting 4. And I just don't know about that call. I think Mackenzie Kiemele thought if she left a yellow here, it would force Mackenzie Zacharias to guard it, and then she'd have a way in on the other side, but she was never going to have a way in on the other side. She was always going to be pushing that red there, so it's maybe a bit of inexperience showing there for Mackenzie Kiemele. I thought the draw was the call all day. You got to get a yellow one in there. Force Mackenzie Zacharias into
draw.
A tough shot. Yes,
yes,
exactly.
Yeah, there was a hole there, definitely. She could have got in. I think she could have even gotten shot out of it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, yeah, this is a lot of trouble here for Mackenzie Kiemele. Mackenzie Zacharias guards this yellow. I do not know how Mackenzie Kiemele scores.
I don't think it's going to curl a ton. I think it's going to stay straight for the most part.
There's going to be some sort of in-off, or I'm not sure, but
like 16.5.
in any case, this is going to be a lot of trouble here if Mackenzie Zacharias can make this guard on her last.
Yeah, so really what's most important for this shot is line. Anywhere over the hog line here is great. As long as she gets the line and covers that yellow, Kiemele team will be in lots of trouble. And these are not easy to place.
Yeah, this looks like it's over curling.
Exactly. Might get a
Get
little kiss.
Little kiss.
Ooh.
And they do.
Does.
So this is trouble time.
Oh, they're sitting 4. So we have a couple of options. We can try that double tap.
Like the 8.
The 1 into the 6.
Oh, yes. It's hard. I think
It's hard.
It's really thin. Like you almost got to throw a board and.
Yeah. It's not easy. None of these shots are going to be easy.
No.
We have this double to give up 2.
Yep. You have the 6 into this. I don't know how hard you can throw it though. But
that would be tricky, but that could potentially remove 2 as well. So it's another double basically.
Yeah. Whatever you're seeing.
I think, Mary, the only shot they have is the in-off.
Off the yellow.
Off the yellow from the left as you're looking at it right now. You can either skinny it and hit the yellow 7 that you just threw into the pile, or you can slash it.
Yes.
But that's the only way you can score, I think, if you're Mackenzie Kiemele.
And we go again. Yep.
We go again.
Yep. I think so. It's like 7/8.
We have to hit it just off nose, eh?
7/8.
7/8, okay. I feel like here with Norm should be okay.
I don't care for this call. It's a double to give up 2, and the double's not easy. I think you're more likely to give up 3 than you are to give up 2 here.
To give up 2.
I don't think the circumstances are as dire as they think, but they haven't even looked at that in-off.
Nothing shot, like trying the janky double tap to get through the hole. So I think I'd rather cut our losses this end and then just try hard next end to get more points. So we're gonna throw Norm, and we just need to hit 7/8 of this, and 2 of them will.
Well, this is not exactly a Skip's dream, you know, the second end, and she's had a bundle to look at both ends, so.
Yeah, and she's got to make what is a pretty tough double here to only give up 2. So final stone here for Mackenzie Kiemele.
No. Oh, close. Whoa. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
And she'll make it. So she does only give up the 2, but that is still a steal of 2 for Mackenzie Zacharias. So they'll take a 4-0 lead into the third end. You're watching the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard live on curling.com.
Curling supplies.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi, folks. I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home, for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the continuing coverage of the Stu Cells Toronto Tankard live on curling.com, sportsnet.ca, and World Curling TV. You're watching a C semifinal between Mackenzie Kiemele and Mackenzie Zacharias. John Cullen alongside Mary Chilvers. And Mary, it has been all one-way traffic so far. Mackenzie Zacharias with 2 consecutive steals, and they lead 4-0.
Yeah, you know, it's unfortunate. The Kiemele team they're missing, you know, shots later in the end, and maybe a few strategic mistakes as well. She chose to play the double on that, and, you know, not bad. I'm glad she made it. She wanted to lower the deficit here, so she's still down 4 points. But again, it is fairly early, but they're going to have to put a few more shots together for sure.
No question, yeah. I will say I did like Kiemele's attitude in the hack, where she said, well, we'll just give up 2 and we'll try harder next time. And I said, yeah, well, you know, it's always a good way of looking at it. So Mackenzie Kiemele is down 4-0. As we said, she was facing 4 with her last and managed to make a double to cut down the damage to 2. So it'll be a case here where Kiemele's going to need to get moving. As we said, the winner of this draw will play Yunjung Kim in a C final to make it to the playoffs tomorrow. We have 2 other C semifinals in front of us right now here at the Oakville Curling Club. Over on sheet 5, setting a land speed record, Calissa Daly and Shannon Jay. They are already in the 4th end, a full end ahead of our feature game, and it is Calissa Daly scoring 2 in the 3rd to take a 2-0 lead. Shannon Jay has the hammer. They're playing the 4th. The winner of that game will move on to face Isabel Ladisseur in a C final. And then beside them, it's Kathy Auld and Justin Murphy. They are also in the 4th end. I'm just waiting for a score update from the 3rd end. The winner of that game will move on to face Irene Shorey from Switzerland in a C final. So I'll let you know once they get the score up. It's currently 2-2, but I'll let you know what happened in the 3rd there.
So a little bit of a break here for the Kiemele team. Zacharias tried to guard these 2 rocks on the forefoot, and I would say that guard just curled a little too much, maybe a little bit too high. So
chance for them to get in here.
Yeah, nice little chance here. Again, they've been struggling a little bit with draw weight, so really need this one.
Yeah, it's not as though the Kiemele team hasn't had some chances to get in control of the ends. They just haven't taken their chances when they've gotten them. This looks like a little heavy.
Hard, Megan, hard. Hard.
And that is unlucky. They might have been able to get the back one and take it out, but it just curls a little bit too much. And so that's...
Again, you know, a bit of a strategic mistake, I would say there, John. I mean, the weight that she threw there was unnecessary. You know, just even playing some kind of a freeze in there. You got to get your rocks in play.
Yeah, no question. Especially when you're down 4, you've got 2 rocks there. It's a chance to maybe play even like a back 4, back 8, tap those back, move them around a little bit.
And that's the reason they're down 4 points here. And, you know, they're putting absolutely no pressure on the Zacharias team. And, I mean, if you're the Zacharias team and all you have to do is throw guards on shots that you have sitting on the forefoot, you're pretty happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Zacharias has been full value for their 4 points. They've made a lot of their shots to put pressure on this Kiemele team. So I can tell you in that other C semifinal, it was a blank end in the 3rd between Auld and Murphy. So they are tied at 2. Auld has the hammer. They're playing the 4th.
Yeah. With just board again. Whatever you like.
So if they want to play this shot again, play it with just like back 12-ish type of weight and keep that shooter in play, and maybe push the red one just behind the tee line to give them something to work with.
Yeah, I think they've called board weight here, so looking to hit and roll. And that will unfortunately click the guard, and so it's going to be another end of potential trouble for Mackenzie Kiemele. She has not had an easy shot so far, and that doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. So Carly Burgess will throw another guard here, just looking to protect the 3 counters they have in the house. So that one hung out a bit, but I think it's in an okay spot, Mary.
Yeah, make the
They'll be able to hit this top one, but
we're gonna do this one. Yeah, 3/4. You need 3/4. Okay. Norm. Yep.
so a chance here to do some damage control for Megan Smith. She can get through this port and make a double here. That would help their cause quite a bit.
Well, their saving grace right now is that yellow guard that's sitting close to the house. If it can, that they might have to use that later on in the end if it's still there, but still lots of work to do here. I mean, you certainly hate to just be forced to 1 point, but at least it puts them on the scoreboard, and maybe they'll do better without hammer.
Yeah, sometimes we would talk about that when we played, that sometimes you just want to throw the hammer away if you just feel like you can't get anything going with hammer, and sometimes it's a little bit more effective to try to steal. So again, it's a chance for Kiemele here, a little bit of a higher guard from Carly Burgess. So she'll have a chance to come in here and maybe make a freeze.
Yeah, here's where if I was the skip, I would have indicated, you know what, top 12 here is fine. Here's where we want to go, but this is also okay. Even though you want her to make the shot, you want to show the audible as well.
Yeah, as you say, Mary, right now, not a ton of options for them to get into the 4-foot. So if they can add another option to do that, that's helpful. If they can't make this looks close. Just need it to go.
It's dying.
Yeah. So a little light, but it is, Mary, where you said the pro side miss was. Might give them an option for getting into the 4-foot later.
Yeah.
I think we'll get on a ridge here, and I think it'll be good. Okay, I think you're right.
Now Mackenzie could actually hit that one. She's choosing just to guard that side.
I mean, we can hit it, but I don't think we need to mess with it too much.
Is there an echo in here, Mary? Or?
Yeah.
I agree, though, with Mackenzie. I mean, you never want to run the risk of maybe coming a little bit outside and jamming it. You've been in complete control the entire game. You don't want to give your opponent a glimmer of hope here. If you're guarding, there's really no way that you can screw it up. So first stone here for Mackenzie Zacharias in the third end. Sitting 3 without hammer, just looking to put a guard up. This is the same thing we saw with Megan Smith's. When it gets out here, it's really dying. And that one will just get over the hog line. So that yellow is wide open for Mackenzie Kiemele, and an opportunity to get in here and maybe put some points on the board.
Like this side of the rock is always going into, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice now for Kiemele. They got both sides of the sheet. They have a yellow rock out in front, so a couple of options here. But they got to make them.
Depends what weight you're throwing.
I was thinking of just throwing back line.
It's close for back line, I would say. Like skinny that one, it should be close. Trying to hit thin half, sorry.
Yeah.
Thin half. I think you need at least back line for hitting half a rock.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You're gonna lose so much steam.
I don't mind trying to come this way either.
Okay, so we're trying to hit thin half-ish.
Yeah.
You need to hit thinner if you're coming this way.
Yeah.
So it's almost like a third.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me just look at it,
Yeah.
sorry.
The other option is this one.
Like the run?
Yeah. Whichever you like.
I don't hate that just because then I'd have two options. Like you.
What do you have of the one?
Of the one?
Yeah.
From the other end right now, I'd probably have like barely anything of it.
This one you gotta hit half. This one you can get thinner.
Yeah. I say let's try this.
Okay.
I also say that.
I don't mind trying.
Hit the one that's wide open, not the one that's only a quarter visible behind a guard. Yeah.
Probably mid 12 foot. I don't want to go any further out in case it runs straight.
Like there?
Yeah. Just
Sorry.
a touch more.
Okay. This should crack, I think.
Yeah.
So I understand for Mackenzie Kiemele, you're wanting to leave yourself some options on your last one because she really hasn't had too many options on her last one over the course of the last two ends. But I think certainly this is the right call, although, Mary, I might be tempted to be throwing hit weight at this yellow one. We've seen a couple rocks down this path that maybe haven't reacted the way the skips thought, and I think playing back line makes it pretty delicate. I think with hit weight, you're likely bound to get something.
Yeah, I think because that high red guard on the left, as we're looking at it, is kind of in the way for any kind of a lower weight shot. Like you say, it's hard to maneuver it, so.
We'll see if she can maneuver it. Mackenzie Kiemele with her first in the third, facing three. Looking for a backline tap.
I think they're liking it.
Yeah, it looks pretty close. And that was the risk if you played back line, that it would go through that hole.
Guard the draw pad, because you could probably play this still, hey?
Well, that's a shame because she
unlucky. Threw it really well.
Really well.
Yeah, got through the port beautifully, through the perfect weight that she wanted to throw. Just, again, that's why I favored the hit weight there, because I think it would have been very tough to hit it through the hole. And you might have even got a double and laid right behind cover. So in any case, very close for Mackenzie Kiemele, but not quite. And now Mackenzie Zacharias will have a chance to come around everything and lie three buried, and it's going to be another situation where if she does this, I don't know how Mackenzie Kiemele scores.
Mm-hmm.
No, this is what I was giving for the draws that we were playing here. So I think this is close, because if I give what you have, I think it's going to wreck on the bird. Because a little bit, yes. You might have to finish it up a bit, but I think it should be okay. I'd rather leave it high and a little bit there. Yes, taller and short. Sorry, 14.7.
So final stone for Mackenzie Zacharias. Already sitting two and looking to get a trio of red rocks in the house. This really needs to come down, but it should on this path. So just a little heavy, and I think this is going to open the door for Mackenzie Kiemele to
what kind of weight do you want to throw? Probably the same
make a
weight.
shot for
I like
one.
it, yeah, it's readable. I don't think we'll need more ice than that. No, so they thought it
So
was
can she
packed.
get in
I
there,
think it was
John, to
backline.
actually score?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I think if she just skinnies by that, doesn't even have to skinny by it. If she just gets by that red that's in the 12 foot by a couple inches, I think she's good. So, yeah, you can see from that angle there. I do think there's a path in there for one. It's not easy, but it is there. Mackenzie Zacharias would have liked to be a little lighter with hers. That was the miss there. So it does open the door for Mackenzie Kiemele to get on the board. She's down 4 and facing 3. Final stone.
Whoa. Whoa. Needs to curl. Katie, try. Hard, Katie. Hard, Katie. 2.
And so the back line from her previous shot may be still stuck in her muscle memory. Mackenzie Kiemele comes a little heavy on that one, and it's another steal of 2 for Mackenzie Zacharias. She will take a commanding 6-0 lead into the 4th end. We'll be back on curling.com.
Look like more? Maybe.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home, for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Asham Curling Supply.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi, folks. I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to curling.com, sportsnet.ca, and World Curling TV's continuing coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard live from Oakville, Ontario. John Cullen alongside Mary Chilvers as we cover this C semifinal between Mackenzie Kiemele and Mackenzie Zacharias. And so far, it's been all Mac Zach and the attack. They're up 6-0 on Mackenzie Kiemele. And Mary, it's just been a story of Kiemele getting some opportunities and just not being able to capitalize.
Yeah, on that last end, Mackenzie Kiemele actually had a shot to take a point. I felt that she threw that just probably a little too much weight on that one. Really kind of had to think just maybe back 4 weight, and it didn't curl enough for her. Unfortunate, another steal of 2 for Zacharias. So
Yeah, sometimes, like I said, at the end of the third there, sometimes it can be hard if you're Mackenzie Kiemele. She just had thrown that sort of backline weight and got very close to making the shot. And sometimes as a skip, it can be a little hard to make that adjustment when you're throwing a similar path, but a little bit less weight. And it just seemed like she kicked out with basically the same weight as her first one. And yeah, it was just not the right weight that she needed. And so it was a third consecutive steal of 2 for Mackenzie Zacharias. And
so she's changed her strategy a bit here. I think the last end she it was similar looking for the red rocks, but she had chosen to put 2 corner guards up. This time she's coming right in, which I don't mind because by putting the 2 corner guards up, it was just giving Zacharias a chance to lock another guard on those beautiful rocks that are sitting on the 4-foot. So, you know, maybe Kiemele needs a little bit more of an open end. At least the 4-foot, 8-foot area, a little more open.
Well, sometimes they say, Mary, if it is broke, do fix it. I think that's a famous proverb we're all familiar with. And so, yeah, she's hasn't had success, as you say. That's a nice shot from Emily Zacharias.
Very nice.
Hasn't had the success with the other strategy, so sometimes switching it up is not a bad call.
Yeah, like, I mean, now at least she's got some kind of access to these rocks. There's no guard in front of them, so she can, you know, play a nice freeze here or just tap them back and get some of her rocks in there where the other team is going to have a hard time removing them. I mean, like I say, you know, you got to start putting the pressure on the Zacharias team to make more precise shots.
No question, yeah. I think that's a big factor for sure. It's been a lot of guards, a lot of draws, and if you're Mackenzie Zacharias, you'll take that all day.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, of course, a C semifinal. Winner of this game goes on to play Yunjin Kim in tonight's C final, and we've got 2 other C semifinals on the ice with us right now. In the one game, we've got Shannon Jay pulling 2 back against Calissa Daly, so they are tied 2-2. Calissa Daly has the hammer playing the 5th, and Kathy Auld, longtime Ontario veteran, has put another 2 on the board against Justin Murphy, so it's Auld leading Murphy 4-2. They're also playing the 5th end, Murphy with hammer in that one, and of course, Daly, the winner of Daly and Jay, will move on to play Isabel Lattiser of Sudbury, and the winner of Auld and Murphy will move on to play Irene Shorey, Swiss team.
So here we go. We've got a mistake out of the Zacharias team, and we got a really nice shot from the Kiemele team to just tap back the Reds and sit there on the top of the 4-foot. So, you know, this is looking like a much nicer end for Kiemele right now. Just coming around the corner guard. Indicating it's heavy. They don't want heavy here. It's probably pretty quick going to the wings as well. That actually really curled hard on them.
Yeah, it did. I don't know if that hit a flat spot or what happened, but really took off and slowed down. The sweepers thought it was quite heavy, and it didn't look like it was going to end up being very heavy.
8.5. Okay.
So when you're up 6, getting rid of a guard is always a good strategy. Just looking for a peel here, and for my money, Carly Burgess, one of the best big weight throwers among the ladies. She played second for a number of years early in her junior career, and she just throws those peels so cleanly. So Kiemele is smartly delaying things here a little bit and putting a guard up. She's got her yellow rock in a nice spot in the house, so I like this.
Get it over there. All right, Katie, get it over there.
The line's going to be just fine, guys.
No problem for Carly Burgess. So what do you do here, Mary? One more guard, or do you like coming in here now?
We got 3 rocks left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's time to come in. Maybe play a nice freeze right on top of that red one.
I'm probably going to leave a double like that, but yeah, that's why I don't hate this. I think so. Probably the call. I like it. It's that or one more guard, but yeah. Okay.
So they call a freeze.
Okay, so what I threw
Trying
on
to
the
create a
outside,
bit of a
that's not
mess
enough?
in the forefoot here,
Or is that enough?
which I don't mind.
Well, that was top 12. Okay, so I'm going to try and give you similar.
The key here is you just don't want to be heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So if it comes into the middle and you tap the red too far, it might set up a double on your yellows. So
Yeah, so big shot here.
Line's close. Line's nice.
I like the line. They're going for weight here.
Line's really nice. Line's close. Needs to curl. No, line's good. Line's good. Line's good.
Yep. Yep, hard all the way to it.
It's looking really nice.
Mhm. Really good shot from
Yeah.
Megan Smith.
Although, did it leave a double?
It might have left a shot for Mackenzie Zacharias to get rid of all 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just didn't quite get the angle right on the freeze.
Yeah, needed that to curl, be dead frozen on the red one.
As long as this one goes, it should though. Yeah, like here.
Yeah.
Like 8.
Yeah.
But a nice shot just the same.
Yeah, you can hit it thicker or thinner. Yeah, that's I like it. You got it, Mac. Yeah. Try to hit the low one first, so the one on your side. Yeah.
Can Mackenzie throw the big weight, John?
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we
she
go like
is
this, it's there, that's fine. 8.
not someone who's going to be intimidated by throwing a shot like this. That's for sure. So first shot here for Mackenzie Zacharias, and we might see some granite flying here.
Oh, great shot.
Beauty shot from Mackenzie Zacharias. And that's what happens when you're playing an elite team like Zacharias. Even when they make a few mistakes, they can make a shot like that to get themselves out of trouble. And you got a feel for Kiemele. They're down 6-0. This is, or Kiemele, sorry. They're down 6-0. This is the best end they've played so far. And they just are 1 inch away from making Megan Smith's rock perfect.
Yeah.
And that 1 inch essentially costs them the end.
You know, it's going to be a little crispier out here probably. But we want to freeze it no, so I'm not entirely sure what split you're looking for. That's okay. 410. So like practice.
Line's a little tight. Not bad though, it's close. Where? Where? Yeah,
So
line,
Mackenzie
yeah.
Kiemele looking
Yes,
for a
line.
freeze here.
You have to go. It's light. Yep. Just lock it on this one, lock it on this one. Lock it on this one. Go.
And that would have been a great shot if it was Megan Smith making it. But unfortunately, it still leaves Zacharias sitting 2 here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like better.
They might have a think here.
Yeah, or make her draw a side button. Yeah, I think so. I don't know what else. Straight here? Yep. Okay. Leg tight's good. And you can play it that way too. Yeah, we know this. Yeah, we do. Okay. I don't mind it, but I think we know this path better. Yep. A little close to you? I like it. Like just on the G. Yep, I like it. You got it, Max.
So Mackenzie Zacharias choosing to guard her shot stone. Her second shot stone, I guess. She just doesn't want to give Mackenzie Kiemele an easy hit and roll for one. So if she can guard this, it'll force Kiemele to draw around the 2 rocks in the top of the forefoot.
Yeah, exactly. If we give
So
her
she, as we heard Lauren Lenentine say, she just wants to put it on the G in the gold line logo there. So final stone for Mackenzie Zacharias.
Line's good. Let it work. Line's good. Let it sit. Let it sit. Really curling. All right.
And that's a few times now that Mackenzie Zacharias is over curled with her last stone. I don't know if it's the rock or just maybe where they're putting the broom, but I do think this is high enough and tight enough that it should allow Mackenzie Kiemele to just come right in there for her one.
Do you want to throw it to just...
whatever you like. You can throw a straight draw.
I'm just worried about it
Yeah,
over
that
curling.
really kind of let
Straight draw?
Mackenzie Kiemele off the hook there, because she would have had to go on the other side of the sheet and basically draw the pin. This is not easy either because it is half covered. But obviously we've seen that it does curl nice in there.
Yeah, Mackenzie Kiemele said she was concerned that it might even over curl. So I don't know that it will necessarily, but I do think this turn does curl. This is one of those ones where sometimes you feel like you want to narrowly miss a guard. That's what feels natural. But in this case, if they narrowly miss the guard, they'll likely hit the ones in the top of the forefoot. So they'll want to make sure they're actually by the guard with about half a foot of distance, maybe even a foot.
Yeah, this is a pretty delicate shot. She has to just the right weight, and she has to get a little bit of curl. She has to get a little bit of an inside roll to take a point.
I just threw it. I know the weight.
This is where you got to believe the ice you're taking and just throw the weight.
So final stone here for Mackenzie Kiemele in the fourth end, hoping not to give up another steal.
You're out there. You're really out there.
Line's good.
Line's
Make sure it's
good.
there.
Look at how it's really cutting now.
Yep. Just needs to make sure it's got the weight. Filipchich and Ford are on it. Can they get it there? They cannot, so it is another steal of 2. Mackenzie Zacharias will take an 8-0 lead into the 5th end. You're watching the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard live on curling.com.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home, for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Asham Curling Supply.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi folks, I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to curling.com's continuing coverage of the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard live from Oakville, Ontario. You're watching the C semifinal between Mackenzie Zacharias and Mackenzie Kiemele. John Cullen and Mary Chilvers on the call. And Mary, if it takes 2 to tango, it's Mackenzie Zacharias leading the dance. 4 straight 2s. She leads 8-0.
Yes, I think the Zacharias team could get arrested for all the stealing they're doing here today.
Yeah, it's been all steals.
Yeah, that's tough on the Kiemele team. You know, a couple of chances they have had to get back in the game and just not working out for them.
Yeah, last end was probably their best end overall. They made a lot of shots, just got a little unlucky. Megan Smith making a freeze with her second and just under curling, which allowed Mackenzie Zacharias to make a really nice double and keep the pressure on. But the opportunities have been there for Mackenzie Kiemele's team, so we'll see if maybe they can put a bit of a better end together here and get on the scoreboard.
If you want the backing, yeah. A lick.
So just a hair heavy there from Jessica Filipchich. Should allow Zacharias' team to get this out of the house. It's been nice to see the Team Zacharias ads in these this ad break. That's something that we're looking to do on curling.com, is help teams support their sponsors, and obviously sponsorship means a great deal to this sport. So
11. Yeah.
It's been fun to see. It's also been fun to watch those honeybee ads every end. I don't know, the whole honey in the hands thing it's really throwing me for a loop here, Mary, but I hope they were able to clean it. This just seems like it would be a nightmare to just even get that off. That actor really earned their money that day when they came in and they said, "Yeah, we're going to pour honey all over your hands." I said, "Okay, fine." But yeah, Honeybee, obviously, I use a bunch of their products. They have a really great throat lozenge that I use when I'm on the call here for 12 games in a row. And of course, their team also sponsored by Asham and Access.
So Kiemele team has a nice little setup here now. A couple of red rocks in the back of the rings and a corner guard. So playing a freeze or a straight come around here. Don't want to tick on that guard. They do. Not bad though.
Nope. It's a yellow one in the house. Zacharias will probably go after that one. Yep. Yep, that's good too.
Straight rip. 8.5.
They could get aggressive, play the other turn on this and actually play the double, but they don't need to.
So nice shot here from Emily Zacharias, and almost does get the double. That's one you make for fun if you can get it, but you don't try it too hard. Zacharias also sponsored by Buffalo Creek and Red River Mutual. Want to make sure we get all their sponsors in on the shout out train. And of course, curling.com has some great sponsors as well. You can see them behind the sheet: RBC, Firehouse Subs, Remax Stew Cells, Run Back, the official apparel of curling.com, and Close Concepts Electrical Solutions. And our presenting sponsor for the Stew Cells Toronto Tankard is In Situ Environmental Remediation. If you don't know what that is, don't worry. I didn't know what it was either until I read about this fantastic company. What they do is they go into old sites that may have some environmental damage. Think like gas stations or old plants, factories, things like that, and they go in and they clean up the land to make it safe for future use. So obviously doing some great things, and you can check out In Situ at irsl.ca. We thank them for being the presenting sponsor here of the Toronto Tankard.
You like this first, or you can just play that, or just straight rip. Yeah, even if you hit it thin and jam it, like they're in the
So
forefoot.
Kiemele not set up too badly here, but Carly Burgess will have a double available to her.
Yeah. Just a touch on the high side, pretty much nose. Like firm. Okay, sure, yeah, just blast it.
And that's a mistake from Carly Burgess, and this might open the door here for Mackenzie Kiemele. Again, just a little bit unlucky that red is perfectly buried behind the yellow.
Yeah.
She's ripping that double all day. Do we ever go wide side?
Well, that was the risk with playing the double, but you know, when you're up 8 points, it's not really that risky. She may not have played that if it was a closer game.
For sure.
Exact same, so what I threw last night is really close.
So just looking to put a third counter in the house. They are not shot though, so be important for Mackenzie Kiemele at some point to try and attack that red stone in the back. But for now, just happy to try and get a few hangers on here.
6, 7. Yeah.
In our other C semifinals, Calissa Daly getting another 2 on the board. So she leads Shannon J 4-2. Of course, the winner of that game will go on to face Isabel Ladisseur tonight in a C final. And in our other C semifinal, Justin Murphy was only able to pull 1 back on Kathy Auld. So Kathy Auld has a 4-3 lead, and Auld also has the hammer, and they're playing the 6th. The winner of that game will go on to face Irene Shorey tonight. Of course, we'll have continuing coverage here all day for you on curling.com. We'll have coverage of both the men's and women's draws throughout the rest of the day, and then, of course, the playoffs tomorrow. So keep it locked with us wherever you're watching, whether it's on curling.com or sportsnet.ca or World Curling TV.
Going for another double here.
She'll get close. The only issue there, Mary, is now that they didn't make the double, they actually opened up their back red one, the shot stone.
Exactly.
Like if I make the double, great, but yeah. I think just control though. Yeah. My in, so it should run a little truer.
So I like this. Kiemele can hit and roll to the wings, and if they get lucky, they might be able to double off these reds. Just another unfortunate mistake there for Megan Smith. Rolls out of the house. And this will allow Mackenzie Zacharias to
10.5.
fly 2.
Do you ever like this way?
I do, because I don't think I've thrown a hit.
No.
No, I like this. We know it.
Yeah, 10.5.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay. We got it back.
All right, just nose. Just nose it. 10.5. I don't think we played a hit the other way, so we're just going to stick with this turn.
So first stone here for Mackenzie Zacharias in the 5th. Just looking to make one of the Kiemele stones go away. And she will, but she'll roll out. So Kiemele looking the favorite for a 2 here.
Like, I'm just going to say just hit it at this point, but then we leave a double. Squat. Roll her off, they're even.
We have some empty sheets out here today. I'm observing some of the A-side men's teams out here throwing some practice rocks. Corey Dropkin out there right now, and Mr. Gushu was out there earlier. So I guess today is Seaside for the men's and the women's side events, and Gunlinson also qualified yesterday along with Schuster and Glenn Howard.
That was this morning, actually, Mary, while we were asleep.
Oh, gee.
Yeah, that's why we didn't know that it was happening.
That's right.
Yeah, the B finals for the men were at 8:30 this morning, and as Mary said, Howard, Schuster, and Gunlickson moving on to the playoffs. So they'll join Gushu and Dropkin, and we'll see which remaining 3 teams get into the playoffs later today.
I don't know if the freeze would put us in a better spot or not, but it's not going to be hard to throw control. Don't have to come out with much.
I would imagine, John, that the Dropkin team and the Schuster team, do they play against each other a lot?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, especially because I think, obviously a lot of international teams come up to Canada to play, but the U.S. curling has been growing there for the last 10, 12 years, and of course, even more so since John Schuster won the gold medal. So they both like to play at home when they can, and there's actually quite a few decent U.S. cash spiels now, so it allows them both to stay at home and play, and then of course, they're both slam teams, so they meet each other in the Grand Slams, and, of course, the U.S. Olympic trials coming up in November in Nebraska, and I think at this point, those would be the two favorites to represent the U.S. in Beijing. And, of course, Mackenzie Zacharias on the road to trying to qualify for the Olympics for Canada as well. They'll be in the pre-trials in Carly Burgess's home province of Nova Scotia coming up in 2 weeks. It's on Halloween weekend in Liverpool, Nova Scotia, which we learned earlier this week is 45 minutes south of Halifax. we didn't know, but now we do. So final stone here for Mackenzie Zacharias, just looking to make sure she doesn't give up more than 2 here. And makes that easily. So they'll be joining 13 other ladies teams to try and grab one of those last 2 Olympic trial spots. Based on world rankings right now, Zacharias is 22nd in the world, so they'll be in the mix for sure.
All right.
And speaking of being in the mix, Mackenzie Kiemele looking to get in the mix here. She can put 2 on the board and start their climb back here.
Yeah, this is the first time she's actually had a shot for 2. An open shot as well, so.
So final stone here, Mackenzie Kiemele in the 5th, looking to get on the board. Just needs a hit and stick for 2. And Jessica Filipchich on it right away. Will she be able to stick in the house here? She will. So great shot from Mackenzie Kiemele. Gets them on the scoreboard for the first time, but it'll be Mackenzie Zacharias with the hammer in 6 and up 6 when we return. You're watching the Stu Sells Toronto Tankard live on curling.com.
Thank you for being that wild, crazy place filled with love and joy that I get to raise my family in.
Thank you for movie night.
Thank you for my new home, for giving me my independence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Asham Curling Supply.
Superior fit, comfort, and performance. Asham curling shoes are the best we've ever used.
Hi folks, I'm Arnold Asham, and our product is always satisfaction guaranteed or your money back.
Asham Curling Supplies.
That's your best delivery of the day.
Here at Red Arena, we are trying to help people through equine therapy. Working with the veterans has been a very amazing experience. Our little motto that we always say is empowerment through horses. I love what I do. I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the continuing coverage of the Stu Cells Toronto Tankard live on curling.com, sportsnet.ca, and World Curling TV. John Cullen alongside Mary Chilvers for this all Mackenzie battle, this C semifinal between Mackenzie Kiemele and Mackenzie Zacharias. It's been pretty much all Zacharias so far, although Mackenzie Kiemele finally getting on the board in the fifth with a score of 2, but it is Zacharias leading 8-2 with the hammer, and it does look like Mackenzie Kiemele has brought her stones into the house, so this is likely going to be a pretty clean end, I'm thinking.
Yeah. I don't know. You threw it good, Lauren.
I'm assuming that was a mistake bringing those into the house, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, and Lauren Lenentine maybe making a bit of a mistake there. It looked like she had maybe a bit of a positive release, and we've seen all weekend that this ice very release sensitive, and that one floats by the 2 yellows in the house, so Mackenzie Kiemele will have a chance to get set up again here.
See, you just never know what could happen.
Over in our other C semi, Kathy Auld scoring 1 in the 6th, so she leads Justin Murphy 5-3. Murphy does have the hammer, though. They're playing 7.
Line's good. Big hole. Yeah, R2. Well, it's like tight-ish.
Kiemele looking for a guard here. And of course, Zacharias being up 6 points with the hammer, she's not going to take any chance. She's looking at possible double, but main thing is just to peel this guard out. On this one early.
And that'll work. If you're going to miss it, that's the way to miss it.
Not much more.
Yeah, she left the guard out, but she got those 2 rocks off the forefoot. So mission accomplished, I'd say.
Yep. If you're high, it's fine. 4 or 5 feet. There. 5, 6. Close. It's not really.
Trying to come around that center guard. Don't want this too deep.
Hard finish. Hard. Okay, nice throw.
Yeah, that's a nice shot there from
And you can play the double or you can play the rip into here. Rip? Yep.
Katie Ford.
Same weight. Yeah.
So Mackenzie Zacharias looking for a peel and maybe get one of the ones in the house here from her sister Emily, and ooh, kicks a field goal right through the uprights. So unfortunate there, but
I took her less than what I was throwing to the corner for guards.
still lots of rocks to
Still a
come.
little less. Yeah, I agree. Okay.
So Megan Smith's first here in the 6th, looking for a guard.
Just wait. It's gotta die. It's gotta die.
Line's close. Needs to curl still.
Gotta finish.
Oh, can't be in.
It's fine.
Sorry.
That's a good shot from Megan Smith. I think that'll be a peel for sure. Again, just trying to get one of the yellows in the house if they can on the way by.
Like 7.5. All right, right at it, car. Weight's good. Oh, oh, oh. No. Close.
Great shot from Carly Burgess. So that'll minimize some of the damage, but that Kiemele stone is in a really good spot, Mary. And
It is.
one that they'll be able to keep guarding, and if they keep making guards, it's going to be tough for Mackenzie Zacharias to score.
Wider, I thought. Katie has to finish at some point.
It's a wider path.
The Zacharias team would probably have not a big problem with giving up 1 point here. To retain the hammer being up so many points already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, here's a chance for a double.
You like the same weight? Over the top, you're rolling this way, Kate.
Yeah. Feels okay.
Same weight? Okay.
So going for the double here. It's just on the outside of the top yellow. Spill them both and roll away.
Yeah. Close, yes, 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 hard. Whoa, yep, yes, hard. Ah, okay.
Just got caught in between there. It does, however, help Mackenzie Zacharias. Opens up a bit of a scoring area here. So it wasn't the perfect shot, but may end up helping Zacharias. A nice end from Kiemele.
Yes.
Got their rocks in the right spots,
Yeah.
pretty much all end.
Just like a 2. Megan said it's really speedy here.
So Kiemele will just be trying to throw up a guard here.
Oh, so you're looking for like a 430 then?
Maybe half cover the red rock that's sitting in front of the rings and cover the yellow rock that they have sitting on the forefoot.
That looks all there. Where?
Sweepers think it's heavy.
No, no, no. You're never getting around it, Katie. You're never getting around it.
Oh, that looked like it maybe picked there.
Stop. Yep, 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 yep.
She said they were never getting around it, and then it hit it. So
Or do we just
I'm
straight
thinking
red?
maybe they picked. Maybe it picked.
Or
It
we
kind of
just
looked
gonna
like
put
it
up a better guard?
picked up rotation there.
I'm just scared.
I know.
Didn't
that's
end up in a
so
bad
jam.
spot,
No.
though.
No.
Less than a quarter.
Do you ever like play the tick?
What if we just hit and roll and off it?
Okay.
Because then,
Yeah, she has to make a good guard. I mean, I still can draw. As long as I still leave myself a draw path.
yep.
Okay.
Like peel's okay. Maybe we just peel.
Yeah, I think we just rip it. We don't need the extra points.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just 8.5.
Okay. Yep.
Right there.
I like it. You got it, Mac.
So they were deciding whether they wanted to maybe come around this guard and split off their red, to open up the yellow one on the button, and then I think they both kind of realized, hey, wait a minute, we're up 6. We don't we don't need to score 3 here.
Right.
So we're just gonna rip the guard, which I think is the right decision. Looking around at the other sheets, Shannon J pulling 2 back on Calissa Daly. So that's a C semifinal that is now tied at 4. Calissa Daly with Hammer, they're playing the 7th. So Mackenzie Zacharias, her first time with the Hammer here in the 6th, and hasn't really been able to get anything going. Just looking to peel off a guard here. And she will, so Mackenzie Kiemele will have the opportunity now to put some pressure on Mackenzie Zacharias, and I think being down 6, Mary, they probably have to try and get another counter in here.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, so like, yeah, she might as well do it against 2 in the house, right? I got 6, so I could probably throw the exact same weight I just threw. Yeah.
The other option, Mac, is like, no, I think I like this.
Yeah, I mean, we can come this way if you want. I just haven't thrown a draw this way.
More likely to leave a double that way.
Yeah. So I think
if this game were closer, I think we might see Mackenzie Kiemele just guard this and just force Mackenzie Zacharias to make a really good draw to the button. But because it's 8-2, they sort of have no choice but to try and steal as many points as they can here. So they're going to come around everything and force Mackenzie Zacharias to either draw against 2 or maybe play a run back.
pretty similar weight. I know it's a little bit frostier out here, but
So final stone for Mackenzie Kiemele, already sitting 1 and looking to sit a 2nd.
You're really out there. Should be slower out there. Yep, try to get 2nd shot. Yep. Yep. Try and get 2nd. Just 2nd. Yep. Have to be. Oh, okay.
So it doesn't quite have enough weight. We've seen when it gets a little bit further out into the frosty stuff that it just dies, and so that's what happened here. And looks like Mackenzie Zacharias is going to favor the double here. And I don't mind this call, Mary. It might seem a little bit aggressive on first blush, but even if you miss it, you're at least getting rid of 1 of the yellows. If you draw and you miss the draw, then you're giving up 2. Giving up 1 here is probably still the end of the game, but if you give up 2, then Kiemele might want to keep playing. So
Yeah, this is definitely a scoreboard call. Honestly, you don't even have to play the double. You can try it, but just getting rid of 1 of the yellow rocks, I would say is a good shot. Being up so many points already. Not a big deal to give up a steal of 1. But she'll go for the double. Why not?
So final stone for Mackenzie Zacharias. She's up 8-2, facing 2. Looking for the double. And it just will not curl, so she does give up a steal of 1. That will make the score 8-3 for Mackenzie Zacharias. And I think that's it. That seems like an exchange of gratitude here on sheet 3. So it is Mackenzie Zacharias defeating Mackenzie Kiemele by a score of 8-3. Zacharias will be in the C final tonight against Yoonjung Kim from South Korea and will be back at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific, with a C semifinal on the men's side. Mike Fournier from Quebec against Paul Fleming from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Should be a dandy. We hope you'll join us then on curling.com, sportsnet.ca, and World Curling TV. For Mary Chilvers, I'm John Cullen. We'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
There you go.